Cyberpunk 2077 unsurprisingly broke the internet 7 days ago with a GIF of in-game footage. Let's talk about that. So last week, the Cyberpunk 2077 Twitter account tweeted out the following. Reaver, custom-built Wraith Gang vehicle based on Quadra Type 66 car. With its near 1,000 horsepower, you will ride eternal, shiny, and chrome. Happy 5th anniversary, hashtag Mad Max Fury Road. Accompanied with, of course, a GIF of the mentioned custom Quadra Type 66 car, which pays tribute to the 2015 film. This has actually been our first glimpse of public in-game footage since the deep dive video that was shown off in August 2019, and people went wild over it. So I'm going to do what I love to do here on the channel, and that is pick this apart, as it actually does reveal some new things about Cyberpunk 2077. Let's first discuss the car, as that is the main focus. Like they said in the tweet, it's based on the Quadra Type 66, which we have seen before in the past, with in-game footage, just not customized quite like this one, as it was located in Night City. I don't think this vehicle would fly in Night City. I could be wrong. I think everyone would be looking in your direction if you were to be driving this thing around in the city. Some people have been saying that this confirms vehicle customization, but that was actually already confirmed back in January 2019 from the lead cinematic animator, where he stated the following. I can't give you too much detail on the different vehicles at the moment. However, I can assure you that you can customize your cars in the game. Now, that is a translation from the article that I quoted from, but I'll leave the link to that article down in the description below. So that is very reassuring. We will be able to customize our vehicles in Cyberpunk 2077. It will be interesting to see how in-depth that customization goes, as the custom vehicle we see here is a unique custom-built Wraith Gang vehicle. So it doesn't seem like it's something that would be done through player customization. So I hope to see some more info around the vehicles in Cyberpunk 2077 when Night City Wire comes around in June. Now, the most exciting thing here for me at least is that this is our first look at the Badlands, which is the area outside of Night City and is known to be a very hostile place. And that's thanks to the local nomad factions, which includes the Eldecados and the Wraiths, which again, this is a custom-built Wraith Gang vehicle being shown. As you can tell, it's a pretty barren wasteland. And to me, this is exactly what the Mojave Desert in Fallout New Vegas would look like if that game were to be made using today's technology. So this was really cool for me to see. Now, while I don't believe it has been confirmed that Cyberpunk 2077 is using photogrammetry, I think it's pretty obvious that it is. So what I'm saying is this GIF looks breathtaking, and people going wild over it is totally understandable. In fact, I would even argue that this looks like a graphical upgrade, but that could just be because it's in a barren wasteland and doesn't have as much that it has to render. I will also say that this GIF reminded me a lot of Rage 2, just because of the way that the scene looked. Now, another thing that I find interesting in this GIF is that we can actually see the silhouettes of Night City far off in the horizon. If this area is truly free roam, that means the Badlands itself is actually pretty large, and the render distance seems to be pretty good as well. But again, based on what we can see, it also looks to be very empty, as the only structure in sight is the one right next to the car, but at least what is there looks really good. And honestly, I think there's actually a bit of a reasoning behind it looking so empty, as from the looks of it, this is actually right on the outer edge of the Badlands, I would say on the edge of the map. And the reason I say that is because of all the large mountains around the car. So I think that CD Projekt Red went out of their way to only show us a tiny look at the Badlands in a very remote area, and wanted the main focus to be on the vehicle itself. While I don't think the Badlands will be cluttered with structures, I don't think there's a single chance that this is one of the only ones out there. In fact, you can actually start the game off in the Badlands, so I'm sure there's going to be plenty to check out. In fact, here's a quote from last year diving into what we know about the Badlands in the game so far. This is actually something I made a video on previously. The Badlands are the surrounding district around the Night City. Players can leave Night City and just explore that area. An area that is mostly sort of destroyed, basically, after all the droughts and everything that happened in the 50 years from 2020 to 2077. And you explore that. There are specific quests prepared for that, also open world content. So that's definitely covered. It's not only the city that you're visiting. You can be one of the nomads as a player, and you can start there, being part of a family of the nomads. You could call them a tribe that is living in cars, and they're just driving over Badlands. They're doing various jobs for fixers and for people in the city and doing various deals. I don't want to disclose too much because not to spoil the story. So all of that information right there lets us know that there will be a good chunk of worthwhile content focused in the Badlands, which is exciting. This is a place that will be worth visiting. But of course, you don't want to be there unprepared, so just keep that in mind. And the last thing I want to talk about in terms of this GIF is actually the structure that is shown off. While it is hard to pick out any details, it does seem like there are two figures on the roof of the building. I personally think this is probably just a gang hideout. It's very hard to tell if I'm just seeing things at this point and whether or not this is the Wraiths. As, of course, again, the GIF is way too low quality and frame rate to tell. So that is all I have to talk about for the GIF. There is one more cool thing I want to talk about for Cyberpunk 2077 that we got to see just over a week ago. That being the Cyberpunk 2077 fan film Phoenix Program official teaser. So if you haven't seen that yet, I really suggest you do so. It was put together by a massive group of talented and passionate people in the community, so go give it some love if you haven't somehow already seen it. If you have already seen it, I've got plenty of other videos here on my channel if you need something to do. But that's it for this video. I will be sure to stay on top of the latest Cyberpunk 2077 news to keep you all up to date. I'll do so in a more timely fashion moving forward. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please smack that like button down below, subscribe to Join the Good Fight if you haven't already, and ring that bell icon to stay updated in all of my future videos. It would be super greatly appreciated as always. And until next time, this is Epoxy signing off.